Hello everyone, welcome back to Herlefeld. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, Farming Simulator 11 with a map here created by SourceWorks and Desperados93. I've had a few frustrations here of late, namely crashing in the middle of trying to record. I tell you what, these older games, Farming Simulator 11 being one of them, seem tougher to run than some of the new ones, and I can't seem to figure it out. I get a bad allocation error, whatever that's called, and all of a sudden, just in the middle, boom, the game closes, and I have this thing pop up telling me that I have a bad allocation error, and you lose everything. So I attempted to record a video, and it happened to me 3 times. The game would only go for 4 or 5 minutes, and finally I got tired of redoing it, so I tried to take some preventative measures. I really don't know what it's doing. You know, if I look at, I got almost 60 FPS. Of course, right now, one of the things that I did is you see the edge of the dreaded viewing circle out here. I was playing on high, and so it kicked it out a little better. You can almost see the whole field. Oh, by the way, I got to do something with these textures in here. The color between here and here is obviously a little mismatched, so I may need to look into the distance textures and see if I can do something about that. But I've had to lower the detail just in the hope of recording something. I tried it on, I'm on the medium setting now, and I tried it on, I like playing on very high. I'm willing to sacrifice a lot of FPS just so the things that I see in game look better to me, and that's okay. I tried it on high mode graphics, and that also, I think I was able to go for at least a half-hour recording, but I didn't know if I could trust it, so I'm going to try it on medium. I had this happen when I did my series with Feldy. It only seems to happen for Farm Sim 11. I don't have this happening on my other series, no matter how bad the FPS, just no matter whatever. So, yeah, the things I've looked up when you get a bad allocation error, it says, maybe your textures are too high in detail, and I know back here in Farm Sim 11, you could use the PNG, I don't even know what that stands for, and now in the later versions, the textures move to DDS. What does that stand for? Digital Draw Surface? Shoot, I don't even know. Anyway, very, very frustrating to say the least. Actually, let me just kind of cut right in here. Of course, I don't know if I'm going to make it clear to the end. Let me see if I can hire that again. And I got to go get Control 2. See, I always wonder every time when I gotta go find it again. Tandem tipper, Control 6. Oh yeah, see, this is about, I finally started saving sooner, and this is as far as I got for some of driving to the field before it crashed on me. And I wondered, did it have something to do with hard objects, or objects rather with collisions? I didn't know. A lot of these trees you can drive right through, like this one we can, but others, it's a static object with collisions. And as I understand it, having collisions takes more computing power and than oh shoot. Nobody's gonna see this, right? let's just pretend we got a little hole in the fence right here, and except that may not be quite good enough. Let me see if I can get it there. Is that just enough to... Oh, yes, I can grab just... There we go, baby. So, in between the last time, I actually opened the app in the editor. I took out some collisions on a number of trees. See, all of these green trees over here, I think most of them have a collision. Many of the maple or oak trees or whatever these are, some of them have collisions, some of them don't. I took the combine from the other side. I did some work off cam, and I brought them over the bridge, over the Audubon, coming over here. I couldn't even get all the way over here because some tree collisions prevented me, so I had to go around, and I don't know if that can force a bad allocation. Other things I read, it was a memory issue, where the game, what did it tell me? 2 gigabytes of mods, no more than that, and something with memory, RAM. Well, I have 32 gigs of RAM, so I mean there should be fine. But I would say it's also inconsistent. Like I was mentioning earlier, I went through this on the Feldy map, and for a while I had to lower the setting of graphics, and then eventually I moved it back up to high, and it continued working. So I don't know what makes a difference, why it seems so persnickety now, but for whatever reason I had a couple kerfuffles. Anywho, as we can see here, we are harvesting canola on Herlefeld, and there's really only, we were previously in the other quadrant, the northeast quadrant, now we're northwest. I believe this is the only field over here that is harvestable. There's all these grass fields. There may be, let me just look behind me. I think there may be, yeah, there's some corn over here, I believe. I may chop it. I don't know if I'll combine that. I think when I get done here, I'm going to move the combine over to the southwest quadrant, closer to town, which you can see over there in the distance. Kind of a cool effect. So there's some more canola over there, so I'll maybe just continue harvesting on canola to get it done. And maybe, let me get out of the way. I think the combine is going to have a little to do before he's going to run out of juice too. Let me go to, I think it's back one. I have this to haul in. And by the way, this trailer load here, well, first off, we had grass already cut up here and over here, and I believe also in here. Well, I can't even remember. It's been so long, I can't remember if I've cut any. I don't think I've cut any. I think these already had the grass cut. I opened these in the editor, and of course this one we baled, this one here and here, we've been picking up in our forage wagon trailer, and we're hauling it to the BGA. This one here, of course, we baled. I opened it in the editor because I'm kind of curious, will the grass regrow? And I don't think it will. As I was looking at the underlying grass, I think it's more a decorative texture, and I don't know if that was the app modder's design in setting it up that way, or just what was in mind. But oh shoot, I'm hitting all these collisions all over. Only time will tell whether any of the grass in those areas regrows. I'm sure some of it will, like stuff to the left, but I know I've played on here a while, and the field, well, is that regrowing? Maybe there is some grass. Is that attempting to grow? Maybe it is. For a moment, I didn't think it would regrow in here. Maybe it's just a little bit slow. So, anyway, I thought that was interesting. I'm gonna have to watch that to see if it actually attempts to regrow on some of these other areas. Well, this probably isn't the proper road. Maybe I could sneak over here. Yeah, see, right now I'm really missing the details. I'm almost positive the windrows have a distance texture, but boy, it messes with you when you can't see them extending out here. What I don't understand is how come I can see the windrows way over here, but I can't see them right here. If anybody has an explanation for that, I would love to hear it. Those windrows that can be seen over there, by the way, were in the map, I think, with how it was created. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it at all, or if the windrows are just far enough apart that the distance textures can show through. Just really don't know. Wish I could see them though. Anywho, we're gonna haul this off to the BGA. And maybe if I get a free moment here, I'll step out of game and show something that I think I fixed. You'll notice with the tractor here, I'm hauling 26,000 liters of material, and ordinarily I have a script in here. I used it on my Feld save, and what it does is it uses up fuel quicker the heavier the load that you have. And I think the maximum is when your trailer has more than 12,000 liters, you are using it the quickest. The trouble is, and this is something I've struggled with a couple times, and this is kind of whipping this tractor around here. The trouble is the script just horks down the gas, and it really uses it way too quickly. And were you to have a load and you could hardly get down the road, I mean the needle on your tank just goes almost as quickly as your speed. So now where should I park this thing? This is as good a place as any, ain't it? And just in time for our combine. Okay. Wonder why it doesn't turn around. Alright, well, we'll come in here and pick up the canola here. Looks like he has just one or two more passes and we'll be done over here. Yeah, I don't like this texture. Yeah. Back in the day, and it could be just because of my computer that the ad shows up the way it does, but I don't know that it was always well known. Of course, we know the Giants didn't always publish it as to how distance textures worked in a map, as to how to put them in the i3D file and get all that in there so that it looked decent, or even how to make them. So many apps probably have that detriment in them. Alright, I should have... Yeah, there should be plenty of... Actually, I better leave this up here. So, let me go to the combine. We'll just kind of watch it here while we have... Yep, he's going to need one more pass. Maybe while it's doing that real quick, let me go out of game real quick. Give me just a second. And of course, the mod I want is an error. So let me go find it. Here it is, fuel usage tractor. So what I did, and I know I've shown this before, I did it in my LD series. You see the fill levels. If it's between 2 and 4,000, here's how much more it uses. I could zoom out a little bit. So it has a factor in here. It does some math, and then it's a multiplier, and then it subtracts this additional fuel from the vehicle's fuel level. So if it's between 2,000, 4,000, it's 0.00002. What I did is I added another 0. And I think when I first came in here, it maybe was missing 2 zeros. So, or maybe it was S.0. Yeah, I just can't remember. Anyway, I added another 0. It pushed it out another bit. So I added a 0 all the way through here. And I think it's finally about where I would like to have it. You obviously use the fuel quicker than you otherwise would. This is on top of everything that on top of what the game already removes from your tank. So, but it goes slow enough that it doesn't feel like you're constantly refilling your tank. So let's go back in game. He's probably, oh yes, almost done with this round here. And then we are going to head across the valley. And I'm gonna need to find some fuel for this machine. Walk him out of the field. I see bottles everywhere. Another thing that was in the map. Does every version of Farm Sim have something like that in it? I think the bottles were also in 09, where you collected them. And here in 11, 13, was it horseshoes? 15, what was it in 15? 17, I think it was gold nuggets or something like that. I don't know if they had anything afterwards. I think there was just one time that I attempted to find all those things, and now I just don't bother anymore, but it's kind of funny to see them all out in the fields. And you know, that isn't far from reality. Although this is kind of clear out in the country, you'd be less likely to, there's another one. You'd be less likely to see it just out in the middle of a field and more likely along a major road. People sometimes are just jerks, throwing garbage out the window and littering. Alright, I'm going to dump this header. Let's see if I can do this. That's about right. Get it attached. I like this trailer because I don't think there was many options in Farm Sim 11 to have a locking trailer. So we'll hit Q twice. This loads it up to the combine, and the second one locks the header onto the trailer. Really cool. There's a whole slew of mods that are in here that I used kind of on the Fidelity map, and I still have them in here, and this trailer happens to be one of those, so keeps on working, even in other applications. Yeah, okay, I was right, there is corn over here, but I think that's all. I don't think that there's anything else arable. Maybe there's a little dab of corn up there, I don't recall. Maybe 2 fields of corn. This one looks like it was already harvested by someone else and they missed some things along the edge. And you know, I give them credit for that, by the way, the Herlefeld guys. Most maps, it seems, start with just the bare basics you can do in the editor. You know, maybe they'll show a harvested field. It's rare, at least from what I've seen, where you have a map that has, right at the get-go, that has windrows in it. And it's maybe a little harder to place windrows realistically in the editor. That could be why many of them just won't try it. So kudos to them for that, having some partially harvested. Now, is there fuel over here? I don't remember. I don't think so. Well, I'm down to 64 gallons. It is what it is. Now, let me see. Where do I... That's the main farm. Is there... Alright, hopefully I don't run into that car. Oh, there is another field kind of in this quadrant. Okay, we got some wheat over here. I'd forgotten about that. Okay, well, I guess I don't have any canola in the tank. I could just go in on the wheat, but I think I'm going to stick with the canola. I believe there's a field of it. Maybe it's over here. So I'm going to head over there. If I can figure out how to get there, that is. Trying to... Surely there's a path. Yeah, there's gotta be one. Alright, there's a road that connects over here. And we'll be coming over here kind of by the sell point, which I believe is, other than the BGA, I think this is the only sell point in the map. And speaking of that, I have a bunch of... ooh, I'm going to have to jockey around a little bit to do this. I have a bunch of material in storage that needs to be sold. Okay, we are... let's see, is there a place... You know what, I'm going to continue on down this road, and I think I'll drop the trailer up over here. Trouble with leaving a trailer, I could put it right in front of where I need to go. There's no problem there, but then what do you do with a silly thing? So oh, look at that fence. I see they have crooked fences in Germany too. Sometimes. Although I'm sure that is the exception, not the rule. Whoop. Yeah, see, I'm a little nervous when I interact with hard objects. Alright, and it's Shift Q. I just gotta remember all this to get everything loosey-goosey. You know, that's a dandy hill down there. At some point, I'm probably gonna trade in the combine. And I mean, I want to bring my hillside combine on here that I worked so hard on in the Feldy map. And give it a go in here. Alright, folks. Now I'm out of juice. See, here's the thing. Is that a... Yeah, somehow I need to figure out how to get it. I may try to do that off cam. I may just plainly need to take the combine to the farm, get it filled, and do it the right way. Alright, can I hire? There we go. Stay in the field. Yeah, see, I think at this upper end, we're going to run into all sorts of hard objects. I think I'll stick here with a combine so I can take it across the top. It's just one of those things that makes it harder for... Oh, there's another canola field over here too. So I'll have two of them to do here. Makes it harder for it to turn around, you know, when it's in higher mode. I wonder if this was sprayed in here. Maybe it wasn't. But I'll just show you. I'll leave it on higher and you'll see kind of what it does. You know, it's hit. Yeah, see, it's already hit one of those. It's attempting to back up, but I have a feeling it's going to struggle when it has, like I say, all those hard objects here. So I will turn the corner for it. Oh, I missed that little dab. There we go. See this greenery in here. I bet that'll come out when I cultivate. I think that's a decorative grass. Yeah, maybe. Kind of looks weed-like, although it would be. When was the? Yeah, I think it was Farm Sim 13 when we got the mod for that had weeds and growth control and some of that kind of thing. Oop, I'm going to be hitting the fence if I'm not careful. And grabbing it like I did in real life one time on the farm. Woo! Get that down. Soil mod. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, by all rights, well, he should be able to turn around. Let me go retrieve my tractor. We need to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to take him up there and sell what he has in here. There's no reason to take and drop it into storage that I can tell. So I'll just go across this nicely plowed field and take it up to the other end and see what I can get for selling it. Anyway, this here is our work time is drawn to a close here. This is my 8th episode, I think, on this particular map. Would be curious what anybody thinks of it. I just got so much nostalgia in me. I don't know what to say. There's just so many, and they're still available on the internet if you know where to find them. So many of these old maps, you know, that were made, some brought forward to other versions of Farming Sim, some died with the version that they were made. I really don't know if Herlefeld survived to future editions, but I appreciate seeing someone's creativity on what they did on a map. I mean, maps are still and always will be, I think, my favorite kind of mod. So I've enjoyed seeing what these guys put together. Now that's a downspout. You know, I'm curious about something. Let me first sell it. All right, I'm getting cash. Good, good, good. But I am kind of curious. There's a downspout here. Is that something? Loading zone. I can't really tell if there's material you can get. That would be a rarity. Let's see, hit R. Nope, nothing. Zero zilch nada. Oh, here's another one. Another down spout. Alright, the bell rang, but I am curious, so... that's a little bit tight. You know what? I better come through here. And another spout. I'm guessing... Let me see here. There's probably nothing in this. I'm hitting the key R to see if there's anything in there. I haven't been down here before, so I'm kind of curious. Maybe in this building here, seeing there's another. Turn around and back in. That appears to be a dumping place too. Oh, but jigger. Huh. Well, maybe it's a second sell point. Shoot, I don't know. Anyway, I haven't seen, for all I know, my combine is, oh, look at that. You can see the combine out here trying to climb a tree. So we're going to need to go rescue it. It's kind of like I say, has to do with the hard objects, collisions on the trees, and you know, that's one way to force the player to not hire very often. That's a dirty trick having a post right there too. Yeah, here we are. How happy to climb the trees. Oh, that wasn't too hard to get undone. Anyway, thank you all for coming along to listen to little old me stumble along in Herlefeld. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.